They're just so cool.
Aren't they beautiful?
Look at the size of his paws.
Oh yeah.
Oh! Whoa! Not too much more before the glass is actually in here. Look at those teeth that he has.
The serrations, right?
Yeah, you're 600 pounds. Just a couple of leaves aren't gonna fill you up. I'm not gonna touch it, but I want to. I think the only way to test if it worked is if you put water in it.
All they want to do is eat, graze on the grass, and jump the girls. And I think that's why they live 200 years or more.
Yeah.
And we're back here at the Reptarium. Super fun trip over at Florida, Gatorland, Crocodile Kyle, Blake's. And that's right, we have some secret footage that we did not release on that trip. But before we get into that, let's go around and say hi to all the animals that we missed. Hi guys, look how cute they are. That's kind of on brand for this video. Oh my goodness, buddy. Oh. It's a lot. Okay.
I think he's trying to say hi.
Yeah, this cage is a little chaotic. Whoa, Freya, you fast girl. And we're back here with our girl Freya. Now, she's an albino alligator. Obviously, we talk about her all the time, but it was so cool actually being able to hold Mystic. Albinos.
You're cute too.
Dude, my heart's racing like 1,000 miles a minute. The leucistic alligator. Honestly, I was terrified. Probably a priceless animal. It scared me to death. I did not want to hold it. I just wanted to touch it. At least it's cool. I can say that I held a leucistic. But I'll tell you what, coming back home and holding Freya, I feel much more secure than I did with Mystic. We learned so much more about crocodiles and alligators on this trip. Feeding Jolene, holding Mystic, seeing all the cool crazy crocodiles over at Kyle's. So, whoa! Definitely had a blast with all our crocodilian friends. That was super cool. Crocodiles aren't the only cool thing about this vlog. The merches. That's right. Be Kind to Somebody merch.
Signature?
Yep, that's right. Brian Barczyk signature edition. Reptile Army on the sleeve. That's what we've been teasing for the last week or so. So if you want to cop that fresh drip, as my dad would say, make sure you go to reptilearmy.com. Link is in the description. You have to buy it now because this run is only going to last for a couple weeks max. Get it while supplies last. Combo packs as well. Not only do you get t-shirts, but you also get decals for your car. Look at this. Be kind to someone with my dad's signature. My dad's gonna be signing so many cars out here. So click the link in the description. Buy the bundle today or buy them separately. I don't care, but just do it already. Hi, Toofy. Hi, Toofy butt. Look at this boy right here. How do you not miss this boy? It's like coming home to your dog. I don't personally have any dogs anymore. I had them all growing up, and Toothy reminds me of coming home to Zeusy, the German Shepherd. Hey, buddy boy. What a little munchkin. One of my favorite guys here, Billy the Silly Frilly. I loved him ever since we got him. He was always one of my favorites. Crawling up. Ooh, we got a little shed here.
You love that.
Yeah, I love pulling off shit. I don't know. That might be the... Anyways, but I think that's enough of reminiscing on our trip and talking to some of our favorite animals that we miss so dearly. Let's get into some of that secret footage.
I don't even have words. Like, I don't know why these guys evoke such emotion from me. They're just so cool.
Aren't they beautiful? And I know how much you love Matilda.
Oh my god!
Why that? You were just the most awesome thing ever.
Look at the size of his paws!
Oh yeah!
Oh!
560 pounds.
That's like 490 pounds more than me.
Foot is how much bigger than my hand.
His foot is how much bigger than my whole head.
So cool.
Wow, I really appreciate it, you guys, liking the professor here. He's 107 years old. He's actually from the Galapagos, so he's what they call a founder animal. A lot of animals have been bred here in captivity, but he actually is one of the few that comes from the Galapagos. It's really neat to have a founder animal. The professor is a Vincina, and in the country today, there's actually only three total Vincina, this subspecies of tortoise.
It is actually hysterical coming back home. Tiny Matilda, after seeing that big boy for the professor. Matilda looks literally so small. I don't know what it is about tortoises that make my mom cry, but on multiple occasions when she met Matilda for the first time, I believe in China when she saw for the first time how big these tortoises can get, and now seeing the professor. Now these are majestic creatures. They remind me of elephants and giraffes, rhinoceroses. That's what they remind me of, just because they're on that scale of majesty and beauty.
You know what? It's so funny. I don't know what it is about these giant tortoises. Just evoke such emotion. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I am not that much of an emotional person, and I like it that way. Funny enough, whenever I come in contact with a giant tortoise, something just overcomes me with this overwhelming emotion, and I don't know what it is. Like, obviously I had it when I first met Matilda. I had it just when we went down to go see Sam and his giant professor. When Brian and I were in China and we met that giant one. Like, I don't know what it is. It's really crazy, but there's some kind of crazy connection. I was trying to think about it and figure it out. I mean, I'm not one with afterlife. Maybe my last life I was a giant tortoise and that is it. These are my people. But yeah, there's just something about it, and I've never felt that with any other animal, like even as much as I love my dogs. Like, very weird, but honestly I don't mind it. There's just something about these guys that literally have my heart.
And back at the legacy reptile side part of it, nothing has changed, but man, it still looks good. Kind of forgot what it looked like because we weren't here that many days. Make sure you stick around to tomorrow because Jessica's actually going to be hopping in some of these and artificially plant out hosiers. She's got a lot of work to do. But I heard there's something special over here. Is that it? That's it. Let's see what, there's got to be more. Ah, this one's morphing. Oh, they're all three done. This is the glass right here. This is where the glass is gonna go. Wow, look how thick that glass is right there. It's at least 6 inches. But either way, this is a big step because that is literally not too much more before the glass is actually in here. Radical, but speaking of radical, there's some other big changes happening over on the legacy.
All those Galapagos tortoises are actually different species.
Oh, so they're not even subspecies.
They're not subspecies, they're species. You see the lip here, and you see how it tilts up? That's what makes him a Vincina species. And what he's doing there, you can see how high it allows him to get, because his neck does not touch the back of his shell. And his head is almost going straight up. So he comes from an island that does not have a lot of good ground planting, a lot of good ground food.
Higher vegetation.
So through the process of evolution, they're able to reach up and eat those low-hanging fruits. The key differences of Vincina as opposed to the other species, and they all have a particular shape to the shell,
right,
as Darwin discovered, to match their environment, to allow them to adapt to their environment. Exactly.
Sam, I'm not even kidding. You know, last time we came here, me and Brian talked about you for a long time. I could listen to you talk about these tortoises forever. You have so much incredible knowledge, and thank you again for having us. I'm like blown away of how amazing this animal is.
He's really special, this guy, because part of his evolution is the fact that, you know, he's such a ham. He's done so many shows over so many years. He knows the gig. He knows what's up. He knows it's a tour. It's really interesting just to see the way that he has developed and everything.
Taking some of that knowledge that we learned from Sam here, look at the shell right here. It's much different than the professor. I'm wondering if we're taking his knowledge to it. Was her food source closer to the ground? Because this is going to block her head from being vertical. Got to curve around this, going like that. Professors had that lip that almost flared up like this. So it's cool. Like, never thought about stuff like that. Never once did I see Matilda or other Aldabras or other Galapagoses and think that they were different species. I just thought each shell was different. So that's so amazing to learn stuff like that.
On the professor, his beak was serrated like a steak knife.
You're right. I saw how big those teeth were, and I wasn't sure if that was because of the size of him. Okay, she does have them. It was just prominent because of how big he was.
Oh, you're right. I do see
especially at the front.
And I guess just when his head gets that big, they expand, but it looked like a saw blade.
Look at those teeth that he had.
The serrations, right?
Yeah, you're 600 pounds. Just a couple of leaves are gonna fill you up. I can imagine how much he actually eats, like, in a day. Smell that? Kind of smells like a nail salon.
Mm-hmm. What do they make nails out of? It's acrylic.
Acrylic.
Yeah.
Come on, let's go smell it. Shark Tank? Got the piece of acrylic. Before we left for Florida, Alex's team started working on the Shark Tank. See how the seam went since we left? Whoa.
It's officially joined together.
Whoa. I'm not gonna touch it, but I want to. Crazy. The first seam of acrylic. I think the only way to test if it worked is if you put water in it. But we're not even quite there yet. Oh, and they got another one done. That's two of 6. So going a little bit slower than they first anticipated, but this is a new formula that they're doing as we talked about.
What up, Oscar?
should be about next week or so before this thing is fully sealed. And that's gonna be so awesome, but so sad because I'm not gonna be able to just walk in there anymore. And it was so cool to see all those tiny little tortoises running around like speed racers. I wish we could have seen little Tilda when she was that size. Also, God, I wish we could have all those tortoises. Imagine you guys coming to the zoo, seeing all them running around. The tortoise feedings would be next level. That'd be so cool.
Guys, look at these little ones. Look at this. This little thing right here will one day be the size of Matilda and even bigger.
This one looks just like her.
Oh, I could see because of the color, the white.
The color in the shell looks just like Matilda.
Oh my goodness, this is my happy place.
I told you, the little bowling balls.
This one looks like
I want them all.
I know.
Look at.
Now listen, I know Lori loves her Aldabra. I am about to show her something that is going to blow her mind.
That's a beauty. Oh my goodness. Look at how gorgeous you are.
Isn't that cool?
That is definitely one that's been on my list, to say the least. So one day I'm sure we'll have at least one of these guys. Look at how beautiful that is.
Someone asked me right now, like, what is something that you know Lori Barczyk wants? It's probably the only thing that I know that I would be like, this is what
Like you could bring home without telling her and she wouldn't ever
she
be
would,
mad. Yeah.
oh, she would probably cry. She would probably love me forever.
Let me look at how fast.
these are like the world's fastest bowling balls.
Matilda here is about 20 years old. Now the professor's over 100 years of age. That is over 5 times the length. That's hard to imagine, the professor being around before the modern day vehicle. If I'm not mistaken, 2 world wars. When people were talking like this and they were smoking pipes and wearing goofy hats. Like the amount of differences that they've seen. Just the clothes. Seeing people in button-up and vests to now just crop tops and Converse.
I can't imagine what those eyes have seen.
It really makes me wonder about their memory. Can they look back and think about those times? I don't know.
While Captain Cook went around to these, they would take the tortoise and they would put them on the island, they would have a little camp, and the tortoise went around with them like a dog.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Captain Cook. It doesn't have a name, it's just called Captain Cook's Tortoise. But what's really interesting, Captain Cook, of course, retired. He goes home, has a bunch of other animals, little stories about the interactions of the tortoises and the other little animals. I'm really trying to get my hands on those stories.
Yeah.
How amazing would it be to get Captain Cook's account of what went on in his little farm after he brought the tortoise back? Captain Cook dies, so where does he go? He goes to the prince or the king of England somewhere, lives through his garden, that guy dies, and he continues on for some another 50, 80 years, who knows? Fascinating, yeah, but not just fascinating now. People have been fascinated by them for years because of their perseverance, because of their nature, their evolution, the way they are. And it's not a predator. It's a herbivore. All they want to do is eat, graze on the grass, and jump the girls. And I think that's why they live 200 years or more.
Sam is everything tortoise. To what he has, to his vast knowledge. What a great person to be able to sit with and hear his stories and see all those animals. I tell you what, like, it was so cool to obviously see the giant professor thinking about the relationship size-wise Matilda and how much bigger he is. But then he has so many. So he had a bunch that were actually much smaller, like, you know, like probably half her size. And then he had the little tiny babies running around. Oh my God. Again, I'd never say it when Brian was here. I want like 10 to 15 little tiny babies of these. How cool was it to see them just running around and stuff? Like, I don't need those, but even if I had them for 6 months just to have that fun, how cool would that be, right? Well, Brian always wanted to go and talk to people and gain all their knowledge. You know, Sam is such an asset to have for us. Got lots of other good tortoise people too, but I'm so happy that I got to see all those different things. And I know I'll be going back again, you know, to see more. And yeah, I couldn't be happier about all of those cool things.
I mean, most things are bigger than me, but this is like way bigger than me.
Obviously there's a bunch of emotions that are attached to going to all these places, but it's going to meet and hang out with all of the friends that Brian made over his lifetime, learn the knowledge from them that we can bring back to the zoo, take even better care and be better shepherds to the animals that we love. So yeah, this is a great one. Sam's an encyclopedia when it comes to tortoises, iguanas, and all that type of stuff. So I really appreciate him having us out here. It's been awesome.
Honestly, this is absolutely incredible. I will say though, this is one of those moments, as incredible as it is, it's like also still like very bittersweet, you know? Like, I know Dad's been here, but like, I know he'd be so excited right now to see these guys. I almost got my fingers.
Watch your fingers, dude. Tank's no joke.
This is gonna be Matilda.
Wild to think, right?
Also, maybe we should start feeding bananas to Matilda.
The way that we look at the professor, where we're like, whoa, are you kidding me? Is the way that the little kids look at Matilda here. Yes, we come back and we say that she looks small, but in reality, she's a massive freaking tortoise. This is a small tortoise, but actually, average sized tortoise. Just to show you, this girl right here, it's basically like a living dinosaur. You can hang out with her all day.
We're doing it.
You're doing it?
Step over here.
Oh, it's happening right now?
We got a vacuum.
That's a vacuum?
Yeah, it's a vacuum. So it's got pressure, negative pressure. And
Negative pressure.
it goes up there, so it's sucking from the top. The glue right there.
Okay, I see it.
Goes in there, goes in here, and then it goes up.
Oh, is that the glue line right
And
there?
now we're right there. Trying to get all the bubbles out of it, so we're not going real fast.
Right.
Go real slow with the bubbles.
That's cool. You can actually see it like slowly
Inching.
creeping
Very,
up.
very
Very
slow.
slow.
How cool is that? How long does it take you guys to do like one scene?
You mean the glue?
Yeah.
About a half hour.
Oh wow.
Oh, okay.
You gotta mix it though. I had to increase the pressure a little bit.
So
You can
cool.
actually see
And
it.
it's, get the bubbles.
Wow.
Got some bubbles.
Okay, let's go around the other side. Thanks, guys.
Oh, how cool is that? Okay, I think that's good. We've been waiting for this forever. I didn't expect to actually see the phase of where the glue is climbing. That is so cool. Just remember that. Oh, I remember when I saw the glue actually climbing up to seal the 30,000 gallon Shark Tank.
I've been looking for him.
Silly. Where have you been? Funny, because I was looking for you too because I was afraid to step on you.
Found him.
So awesome to be back here at the Reptarium. Like I said, it's a nice taste of refreshment coming back home, seeing our beautiful animals. It was a blast in Florida with all of our amazing friends that we are so blessed to have. Thanks to Dad, forever grateful for that, and the experiences that we get to still go on and embark. I know he would be so proud, and God, do we wish that he was right along with us. Even though we're going to the same place for the 30th time, it would have been amazing. But we're happy to be back. I guess now it's time to plan our next adventure. Guess we got to figure that out. Before we get out of here, buy the merch, why don't ya? Ouch ya.
Hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's a playlist that you can watch all kinds of videos. You can also hit that subscription button. It would mean a lot to me. Also, hit that like button while you're down there. Have a wonderful day, Reptile Army. Remember, be kind to someone, and I promise I'll see you in the next one.